Lifestyle investing, where we invest based off our lifestyle to build that future lifestyle. Mike, myself, super excited, man.
Yeah.
Been a couple weeks. We're going to take a couple week break off.
Yeah, we're going to take a 2 week break off.
I'm going to be in Guatemala.
Okay,
you will be
in Florida.
The sunny state of Florida.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the beach.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tampa, Orlando, Miami?
Orlando.
Yeah.
Going to convention.
Right. Oh, you're going to convention?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to Disney World.
No, that's going to be in 2 years. I'm going to Disneyland in November. Yeah.
Off a couple months.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah, Florida.
How you feeling?
Good, man.
Yeah?
It's crazy, yeah. I've got money burning a hole in my pocket right now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
And I just read, or a little while ago, I read Dave Ramsey's book.
Yeah?
And so I've been budgeting my money. I've got everything paid off except my mortgage. I have my emergency savings fund, but it's not at the 6 month range where it needs to be, 6 months expenses.
Got it.
Because I want to buy a car. Because my budget, I'm spending $500 a month in gas.
You're spending $500 a month?
Yes, just in gas. So if I'm trying to buy a hybrid, I'll immediately save like $300 a month. So it's tough. I'm trying to battle that out because I want to build my emergency savings up a little bit higher. But also, if I bought a new car.
That's insane.
I know. I want to actually ask Dave Ramsey what he would do. So what would you do if you're in my position? Spend $500 a month on gas. Emergency savings is not where I want it to be. But if I could spend $4,000 right now, which I do have, I could buy a car that'll save me $300 a month.
Got it. This is my thoughts first on buying a car.
Okay.
Right? Gotta buy in cash.
Yep.
Gotta buy in cash.
Yep. I have the money.
You can buy in cash and then finance later if you can find an investment that you make a better return on. Okay, and I know this doesn't apply to you, but I'm just kind of talking overall on just car buying from my point of view. So if you buy a car, right, you buy in cash because then you get a discount, then you get the ease of buying it. You get a lot of negotiating power as well.
Yeah.
And then if you find an investment that is high up there, and then you want to use that liquidity for whatever reason, then okay, do a cash out. Pay your 4 or 5% on a loan, and then boom, you're hoping to get 10 to 15. Okay. So that's my thoughts on that.
Okay.
I'm not a huge believer in buying cars that are like $3-4 grand.
Okay.
And this is why. One, the biggest reason why is reliability.
Okay.
Right? I'd rather pay like 6 or 7.
Okay.
Unless if you can find something that maybe has some body damage and then you fix that up a little bit. But usually if you're under the $5,000 mark, like it's you can find a great deal, but it's just 50.
Right.
It's just like 50-50 for someone like me. Where I can't afford to take the time to have issues with any cars.
Yeah.
And then
okay, well, good. I'm glad I talked about this. If you're willing, maybe you can point me in the right direction, or just give me some tips, and I can reach out to you on that.
Yeah.
Of just like looking at some cars, maybe forward you a couple of links or something.
Because you got to see it as an investment.
Okay.
And see it more as a.
And it's going to save me money, obviously, based on how much I'm spending on gas.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Because it's just an investment on your time, essentially.
Okay.
Like ROI on your time.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Because if you're messing with little issues here and there, like, I just don't know.
Yeah.
I really just don't know. Especially someone like you who's a high earner.
Yeah.
Like, you got to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. My time is valuable.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Very big.
Yeah. All right, cool. We'll touch base on that offline camera. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Okay, so
let's kind of talk.
We've been doing this show for a while.
We have. Over 10 months.
Yeah.
Almost a year. Yeah. We've had a lot of guests on. We wrote down quite a few of the guests.
Some of the guests.
I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Just 16 there. And I think there's like another 4. Yeah. So we've had about 20 guests since doing this, which is killer, man.
Yeah.
And so I thought, just looking at some of these, what do you think kind of like strikes out? We had like Margaret on, which we spoke about our comedy business, some real estate.
Real estate, yeah.
We talked about insurance. We talked about multiple businesses, crypto, stocks, a lot of real estate. Any thoughts?
Yeah. So part of it is the research that has gone into doing the episodes that I didn't know a lot about.
Yeah.
So like when we talked about stocks and I was or commodities, and I was looking into commodities and what they are and what some of the risks are. Like one of the funny things to me about commodities trading is that factored into the price of the commodity is the possibility that it might get stolen, or that the ship might sink that's transferring it from whatever country, or it might rot in a barn if it's corn or something like that.
That's true.
So it's interesting. It's interesting to think that that's part of the value of that investment. So that's one thing interesting about that. Crypto, I think we had people on that talked about crypto throughout the crazy boom and after.
I know.
So it's been weird to see that. I don't know what's going on in crypto today. I haven't been paying attention.
It's going down.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's Bitcoin at right now?
Since I own Ripple, I don't
Okay.
follow Bitcoin much.
What's Ripple? How much
But I
is
think-
Ripple? Or what's the percentage of Ripple based on what you bought it?
Yeah, so I'll get to that
Okay.
in a second.
Okay, we don't have to
to
We don't have to talk about that.
No, I think Bitcoin's like, I think it's between 6 to 8 grand. Like
Okay.
somewhere
So
around.
that's
Yeah.
about where it was when we started doing the show.
It was. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then it's boomed up
It
to
went
like
up to 20.
20.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the end of the year.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's when we even had like Zach on.
Yeah.
When it started going down, we had Derek on,
Right.
right, with all the craziness going on
Yeah.
there. And then like a few months out, by the time like Rob got on, which he has an e-commerce business, but he also does some crypto. By
Yeah.
then, it pretty much had crashed,
Okay.
which is very interesting.
And funny enough, I've been watching Domino's Pizza pretty regularly,
Yeah.
and it's in the 280, 290 range. And when I was first looking at it, when I first went and watched the commercial that said, "Hey, we're going to be going out to all these parks," it was at like 240.
Oh,
And so I missed out. Like I had
thought
this.
you bought.
No, I didn't buy. I put a limit buy on it at like 220, but it kept going up. I thought it was going to dip and go down, but if I would have just bought then, I would have been up $50 a share.
Don't be greedy.
Which is don't be greedy. That's a good lesson. That's the one lesson. So it's gone up about 20% in the last month or so since I've been watching it. In the last year, it's went from 166 to 290s in one
Almost
year.
double.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this is pizza. You know what helped? I was reading about the other day.
Huh.
Papa John said the N-word. He did. You know what I'm talking about?
Wow. I know. I had no idea.
No, he was on a conference call and he said Colonel Sanders used to call black people meh.
Whoa.
And that their market share dropped 10%. Domino's was there to pick it up.
No way.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
I know. So that kind of news definitely affects
Yeah.
business.
The whole-
I just had no idea that a pizza company would be selling over $200 a share. And I thought for sure something. And actually, I just saw a commercial the other day, and I thought their stock was going to drop because of it, because they've said if you're on your way home from a carryout and you bump the pizza, they'll give you a new pizza, right? Like,
Wait, say that one more time?
like so, say you're on your way, you go pick up a carryout at Domino's. You're
Okay.
on your way home, you hit a pothole, and your pizza falls on the floor. You bring it back, they'll just give you a brand new one.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. But now what they're doing is you call them or do something with the app and tell them where the pothole is. They go fix the pothole.
No.
Yes. Domino's fixes the
They
pothole.
fill it with dough and they get
And pepperoni and cheese.
No.
It's a stuffed crust pothole.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's a mozzarella stuffed pothole.
Can it take semis? Like if semis drive over it, or just like?
Yeah,
small
no, I mean they
cars?
absolutely fill it with regular, like they just straight up have a road crew company that I
Wow.
know. And so I thought that there was gonna, and maybe it'll happen next quarter, but I thought after that really rolls out, that's going to cause a dip. But maybe it's such good PR that, for every one pothole they fill, they sell another 1,000
That is
pizzas.
insane.
I know, dude, it's wild.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. And then the other one that I've been looking at trying to buy for stocks that I've been watching is Ditech. Ditech has had huge growth.
Okay.
They were one of the top 20 growers year to date.
Of weed?
No,
You said
just
growers.
growth. Yeah, just growth in stock. They're a
Oh,
mortgage
okay.
company, Ditech Mortgage.
Got it.
Yeah, and
That's
they've just percentage wise, but they're only about $5 a share right now, and I've got a buy set at like $4.90. So maybe I need to do the same thing, not be so greedy and
Interesting.
just buy, because I want to try to buy a couple hundred shares of that. It's only about $5 right
Well,
now.
where'd you hear about that stock?
I was just researching top year-to-date stocks as far as growth, percentage-wise.
Interesting.
Just to do, now because of this show, that's on my mind. Just throughout the day, if I have a few minutes, let me just go check out what's going on in the market or whatever.
Mhm.
And, yeah.
Dude, that's sick.
Yeah,
I'll check it out.
I know.
Text me the.
Ditech. I will. Yeah, I'll text
Yeah,
you.
text me the symbol, and then
Okay.
I'll be sure to.
Yeah,
to check
it's
it
only
out.
5 right now, so.
Huh.
And they're good. I mean, I know about them. Being in the mortgage industry, I know about this company, and I know that they're a solid company. Yeah, I didn't know that they were publicly traded though. That's pretty cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
They're one of your competitors.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Cool. Anything
Yeah.
else?
Let's see.
See.
Yeah, one of the things I was just thinking about today is the arbitrage, which is a word that I had to go look up after being on the show with Jan. Because he basically says he reads for 12 hours a day, and then based on that knowledge is making profit. And that's the definition of arbitrage. It's using information to turn a profit. So the information he gave us was the SFR 5, which is a single family residence, has to take up 5,000 square feet of land, is getting changed to a low-rise 1 or 2, meaning with that same amount of land, you can now build a condo. So he was buying crappy houses, selling them to builders for them to just knock them down, and he was making 150 grand a pop just by knowing information.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he had to do. Hey, they're going to change the law. This property that I could buy for 450 tomorrow is going to be worth 600. So it's that, and I was thinking about that today because a friend of mine whose father passed away is trying to sell his house, and it's a huge lot. It's a 5-acre lot, and she had went back to the county records to see if they changed it, and it's still not. It's in Snohomish County, which is North Washington.
How much?
How much is the house?
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably between 8 and 1.2. I don't know because it's big. It's like a basic mansion or something. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's on a ton of land, and they were trying to see if they could develop it because they're having a hard time selling it because it's 75 miles away from north from where we are right now. It's basically Arlington. It's kind of Marysville, but it's basically Arlington.
Deep.
Yeah, so it's super deep. So even somebody that works at Amazon or Microsoft won't want to live there. But maybe somebody that works at Boeing because there's the Everett plant. But yeah, but I was just thinking about that today, the arbitrage. So that's something that it's a word I learned what it means, and it's awesome how by information you can make money. It's reminded me of a story that a buddy of mine who was my boss for a while at a payroll company taught me about his experience in the real estate industry, which was like back in 2006 or 7. His father-in-law told him, hey, I will give you 50 grand in 6 months if you don't make at least 50 grand doing this. Going around, finding pieces of land, and doing a for sale, or like doing a purchase contract, for sale by owner kind of thing, and writing my name or assigns to. So like John Smith is selling to me or whoever I assign it to. And so he did it. He hustled for 6 months. Towards the end of that 6 months, he found an old lady who sold a parcel of her land to him, and he had no money to buy it with, but he had this contract, and he went and sold the contract to a builder.
Wow.
And he made 50 grand.
Wow.
Yeah, so he just told me about the hustle of, hey, if you have an idea of what you want to do, you can go make it happen. And his father-in-law luckily he had the 50 grand to give it to him, but he wanted to prove to him, if you hustle at this, you can make it happen. You can make money come out of thin air if you go do the footwork, go find the land. And I was just looking at, I was just kind of curious about what houses are going for in my neighborhood because I bought in January, and it's pretty nice. I mean, I can't even find anything for what I bought mine for. Everything's over. Yeah, so that's really awesome. And what I also saw is this huge lot in Puyallup for like $870,000 that you can build up to 22 houses on. So my wheels start spinning, like, who do I get involved with this? How can I turn this into something? And I'm sure there's guys like me that are already doing that. But if I spend however much money it would take to clear it, grade it, get the permits, and then sell that to a builder, I might make a couple $100 grand just off doing that. So it's those kind of ideas, like being in this world has taught me, like just doing the show has taught me, like, if I have some time and maybe a little bit of money, I can make profit. Yeah, if I know what I'm doing, if I know how to do it, how to set it up. Yeah.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah, it is. That's really
cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's always interesting to see how people always have kind of like little side things here and there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then just how opportunities come up where, you're doing your daily thing, your daily hustle, and then like something just pops up. Either through like a network, through a friend,
right.
or relationship that you met 3 years ago that you kept developing and then just kind of like pops up. So there's so much stuff that we're doing today that will render us success in a year, 3 years, and 5 years that we still don't know about.
That's right.
So I think it's good to keep definitely be short-minded essentially, like selfishly, but also realize there's a lot of stuff that you don't get an ROI for a year, 3 years,
Right.
5 years down the
Yeah.
road, and being totally okay
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, I was meditating this morning as I parked my car before I took my keys out and walked in the office about providing more service today than I'm going to get paid for.
Mm.
And it changed my outlook on my day. And I know that that's such a good thing. Like, that's how you can create like a magnet of wealth to come to you. And
Yeah.
I believe this is if I go into every interaction and say, how am I going to give more than I'm going to get? And it was like, what it actually looked like, the nuts and bolts of it is answering questions for people that are probably either still in the deciding phase, or I know that they might not even use me as a lender and they're just asking questions, but being fully present, fully answering it, giving my best ability, going above and beyond to give them as much information as possible. That's how I showed up in that today. That's how I gave more service than I was paid for today. Is I spent real time, real energy, was authentic with what I was doing, instead of just deciding, oh yeah, I don't think you're serious, boom, 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 get out of here, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was cool.
That's
To
good.
have that intention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really good. That's really good. And like some examples on like we even look at like Jesse, right? He has a moving company.
Oh, yeah, the moving company.
Right? And he never thought he'd ever have a moving company.
Yeah.
Right? Just and the opportunity came.
He just loved to read about success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then started talking to a guy that he plays soccer with, right? And then boom, now he's doing like $500,000 a year,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Even more than that, because I think it was $500,000 a year to date when we talked to him.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing well.
Yeah.
He's doing very well. And then even like Cool G, right? I told you last week, or like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
me
it
and
was
him,
our show. Yeah.
me and him were just having a 15-minute conversation. He started telling me about this deal.
Yeah.
Literally the next 2 days later, we drive up to the realtor and then we submit an offer.
Yeah, it's like the one I'm talking about, where it's a vision of buying this piece of land, doing something with it, cutting it up, putting more houses on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The opportunities are out there.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
And I'm actually talking to Ludimir right now to find one of those Seattle lots
Oh, nice.
where we would buy it,
Yeah.
Airbnb it for now,
Yeah.
and then try to if it rezones, then we just sell it.
Right. Awesome.
You know.
Arbitrage, which I thought was in Burger. That's an albatross.
Arbitrage. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's the
like
bird.
a movie.
Yeah. Alcatraz.
Ah.
It's a prison on an island in San Francisco.
It is.
Yeah, arbitrage.
Huh.
Yeah.
I might go to San Francisco in a couple weeks.
Okay.
We'll see. Might do an
Cool.
event over there.
Nice.
What else? Yeah, stocks, crypto, real estate. I mean, we talked a lot about it. And then I think another thing I want to bring up is 'cause we had Jamie and Glenn, right?
Yeah.
And I think what's interesting about them, especially like Glenn was he was doing his day job for like 30 years.
Yeah, he was working for GE.
Yeah, doing
repairing
very well.
trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they were about to go under, and then he saw
Well, yeah,
the
well, GE
opportunity.
just said that they weren't gonna. It wasn't profitable for them to keep running that. They were just
Exactly.
gonna outsource it.
Yeah. And then he took ownership and kind
Well, yeah,
of
he just said outsource it to me, but it was crazy. Yeah, because he wouldn't have done it without his top mechanic. Like, there was a couple key people that had to come along.
Mhm.
Everything had to fall into place.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how he was in that rut the whole for like decades doing like
Yeah.
the same thing, and then all of a sudden that drops, and then boom, you take on that opportunity. So it doesn't matter what age you're at,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
it,
he was in
it
his
really
50s or
doesn't
something
matter,
when he did.
because most people say like by the time you're like late 30s or 40s, like you have your set ways, you don't really make change, this and that. Then you can start a business anytime.
Yeah.
60s, 50s,
Yeah.
70s,
Yeah.
doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, for Jamie, it was that kid who had gotten an easy childhood and then
Right.
stepped up and
Exactly.
said, I'm going to take it to the next level.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
more like a realization of what he actually had.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Which is really, I think it's cool because like if we compare, let's say even like Rob and Jamie, like
Yeah.
Rob, he was set up just like Jamie was.
Yeah.
And then, but he from an early age, like he ran with it,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah.
And then Jamie, he took an extra 15 years.
Yeah, exactly.
But he
yeah.
still ran with it.
Yeah.
And so again, age doesn't really matter
Right.
as long as you figure it out. Like you
Yeah.
figure it out. And Jamie's doing totally fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing fine. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool, man. Learned a lot. And got to share people from our lives with each other. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
got to meet a lot of your childhood friends. You got to meet some of my support community, like this group of people that I hang out with.
I know.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
I thought about your quote this morning because one of my morning meditations is also about being grateful for the support that I have in my life.
Uh-huh.
And I heard your voice in my head this morning because at one point you had told me that I have so much support that I can hold up a building. Because then it's such a great visual to think about all these people who have my back, you included, that just holding up. It's just cool. It's cool to imagine how many people like have been there for me and are here for me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So blessed.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
blessed. We're all blessed.
Yeah.
Even those watching right now.
Yeah.
Totally blessed. You just
Yeah,
gotta
we're
stay
here for
blessed.
you too. We are your support. That's why we're doing this thing.
True.
Yeah.
True that. Well, dude, it's about 20 minutes. Anything else you want to end with?
I don't think so.
I know. It's
Yeah.
been good.
I know.
I'm excited for our guests to keep coming on. And,
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I've got one. I got a guy named Scott who has a road company, so we can even talk to him about the Domino's thing because he does road construction.
Ah. Okay.
Steamrollers and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Sweet.
All right. We'll see you in 2
Lifestyle
weeks.
investing, guys. Peace.